Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you're having a good day, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show and whatever you may be doing. It's always good to be here with you. I appreciate you stopping by. We don't take anything for granted, especially the listeners. No listeners, no show. So you're pretty important, I think. 877-897-8255 is a toll-free number. And we're going to get into some... I have a guest on in the first hour, Eliza Leggatt. She hasn't been on for a while. I haven't talked to her for a long time either. She's with Nordic Naturals. They're a pretty good outfit, you know. Fish oil company. Very good. That is having these omega-3 essential fatty acids in your day-to-day diet, critical. It has to be. That's it. It's axiomatic. The question is, should you eat fish every day? And which ones? Which kind? How toxic are the fish? Are you eating farm-raised fish? Oof. So what's a person to do? Now that I made that assertion that these essential fatty acids need to be in a daily regimen, dietary regimen for a person, what's the option then? Well, in my opinion, it would be dietary supplementation with these omega-3 fatty acids. Nordic Naturals is a good choice. We'll have Eliza talk about that. Came across something that was trending this morning out of Taylor and Francis. This is interesting because it points to a challenge that we're facing in this country regarding medical care and trying to treat a lot of people. But it's not just trying to treat a lot of people all at once. This particular study points out that more than 50% of Americans now have at least one chronic health condition, mental disorder, or substance use issue. Turns out that a lot of people are suffering from comorbidities, like they could have heart disease and some other disease at the same time, diabetes. Or they could have heart disease and a mental disorder. It's not uncommon. So it's a lot of people now. It's a lot of people. How do you treat so many people? And then on top of that, it's not just you're treating them for one thing. Oftentimes you're treating them for 2 or 3 things. How does the medical complex, if you will, cope with that? And this starts then to implicate all sorts of issues: political, social, ethical, philosophical. I could go on and on. But at the end of the day, you have, on an individual level, you have a person such as yourself or me trying to cope and deal with something, and a system that perhaps won't be able to handle it. So this is, yeah. And what they said was, with the future of U.S. healthcare likely to rest on the next presidency, a new study highlights just how complex the medical needs of many Americans are right now. And this was published in Psychology, Health, and Medicine. And it does, the article does underscore the complexity of this. You know, some people say, well, you know, you can't have a one-payer system because that's socialism. Or you can't do this or you can't do that. The point is that we're going to have to, because we've sort of created a paradox. We're able to keep people alive longer. Average life expectancy is now 78 years of age. It's not so uncommon these days to have people live into their 80s, 90s, and even get into being 100. We have more centenarians walking around on the earth now than ever before. And that's wonderful. If you can give a person one more day of life, one more minute of life, that's great. And that's what medicine's trying and should do. But how do you care for these people? Many of them are pretty sick. So one answer is you've got to try to keep people healthier longer because you're keeping them alive longer. So quality of life becomes an issue. The question becomes, how do you do that? Because we, as humans, we tend to get in our own way when it comes to trying to do better, trying to change behavior. We struggle when trying to change any kind of behavior, health behavior notwithstanding. And by the way, there are still many people think that mental illness, well, you're not really sick because you don't have a fever, right? Mental illness is just as real as physical illness. The pain and the suffering and the quality of life, the deterioration of quality of life is just as real with mental illness as it is with any physical illness. And then you can have them in combination. And often that happens because mind and body are inextricably linked, right? What they found in this study, that overall almost 18.5% of adults had a mental illness in the past year. 8%, almost 9% reported substance abuse dependence during the same time. Nearly 40% had one, listen to this, nearly 40% of the people in this study had one or more chronic conditions in their lifetimes, and almost 15% were living in poverty. Listen, people are often born into dire circumstances. They're born into poverty. They're born to parents that could be much better, and so on and so on. And from the moment they enter this earth, they're off to a bad start. Remember I said, I've been saying for the last several days, your zip code is just as important as your genetic code. Included in that zip code argument, where you live, you know, like the neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods, socially and economically depressed neighborhoods, no grocery stores, no medical facilities, and so on and so on. Do you think those people want to be living in those conditions? And you just can't say, well, it's their personal responsibility to fix it. Really? No, not quite. It's only half the coin. The other side of that coin is society's responsibility to help. And in the end, it's better. It's better for society. We have to find ways to do better for people who need more. Now, to some, that probably sounds like liberalism, socialism, whatever. And I'm not. I'm apolitical. I'm just talking about being humane. It's better when you help people to help themselves so that they can do better. It lifts all of society. A lot of people suffering. We be careful what we wish for. We want to keep people alive longer. Okay, wonderful. Sign me up. I'll give you 15 championship rounds for that. But how are we going to care for them? Are we taking care of that part of it? We don't want people to suffer.
At Nordic Naturals, we know that a commitment to deliver the world's safest, most effective omega oils requires an exceptional process. That's why we manage every step of production, from boat to bottle. That includes sustainably sourcing wild-caught fish from well-managed fisheries. It means using state-of-the-art equipment and technology at our manufacturing plant in Arctic Norway. Nordic Naturals bottles and encapsulates our omega-3s at our own facility and carefully ships products from our eco-friendly headquarters in California. The result? Nordic Naturals products have received more than 40 awards for taste, innovation, and product excellence. You can trust the quality of Nordic Naturals products and know you're getting all the health benefits omega-3 fish oils offer. Nordic Naturals' high-quality, great-tasting omega-3s make staying healthy easier for you and your family. When choosing an omega-3 fish oil product, choose the #1 fish oil in the U.S. Choose Nordic Naturals. Available at natural product retailers or online at nordicnaturals.com.
Are you waking up each day to the life you have to live or to the life you want to live? Better health shouldn't be left to chance. Smart choices to living longer and stronger include making Kyolic aged garlic extract a part of your daily routine. For years, medical researchers have recommended adding Kyolic to the diet as a powerful tool to enhancing overall heart and immune health. Recent clinical studies at UCLA Medical Center using Kyolic suggest that garlic may slow plaque formation in the arteries and support healthy cholesterol and homocysteine levels. Previous research also shows Kyolic may enhance your immune system defenses. Kyolic is organic, odorless, and the only antioxidant garlic supplement available worldwide. Maintaining a healthier you could extend your life. Your wellness begins with Kyolic aged garlic extract, available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold. Visit kyolic.com, that's KYOLIC.com, or call 1-800-421-2998 for a free sample today.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted Best Independent Chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Still looking for your fountain of youth? It's Zinnia. Look no further than the beauty aisle of your favorite health and nutrition store. Zinnia is the newest product from Form Essentials, the brand that brought you solace. So you know it's filled with the highest quality ingredients. Many cosmetic products only treat topically, while Zinnia addresses aging and hair loss from within. Formulated to support the growth of radiant hair, skin, and nails, Zinnia is sure to help you turn back the hands of time and assist you in aging gracefully. Zinnia provides a spectrum of key vitamins and other evidence-based natural ingredients such as alpha-lipoic acid, biotin, and collagen and elastin peptides, all combined in one capsule for your convenience. By promoting beauty from the inside out, you're strengthening your cells and creating a lasting enhancement to your natural beauty. Zinnia fits into your daily routine and can be taken to boost your current cosmetic products. Available now at leading health and nutrition stores. Ask for Zinnia by name. Start taking Zinnia hair, skin, and nails today and get ready to look amazing. Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Herb and Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to be with you today. And Eliza Leggatt is my guest. I was thinking out loud. I was sitting in during the commercial break, and I said, people still eat lard. And one of my producers said, oh, yeah. And he said, there's this one grocery store. They sell lard by the five gallon. Is it 5 gallon? You can use your mic. It's a 5 gallon bucket.
A 5 gallon bucket of lard. I'm going to look for it.
I was just thinking out loud. I wonder if people still eat lard, because I saw there was a study in Frontiers where they compared fish oil versus lard. This implicates my guest. You see how I'm leading into this?
Yeah.
All right. Eliza, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Long time no see.
Hi, Dr. Garko. I know, it's been a minute.
How are you?
I'm great.
You must be on a headset or something, because you sound real hollow and echoey.
No,
No, you're on a regular phone?
Yeah, just sitting here.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds real distant. Where have you been?
Man, it is so good to talk to you. Well, I had a baby.
Oh,
So that's
that's what it was.
I had this baby.
Okay.
And they cause a little bit of interruption.
They do, don't
to your
they?
normal routine.
Well, congratulations. Was it a girl?
Thanks.
Was it a girl?
Yeah, it was a girl. Yeah, so that's our second baby. We have an 8-year-old and now this little 1-year-old that is like just stomping everywhere, interrupting everyone and everything.
Of course, that's what babies are.
Hilarious.
That's what they're
Wonderful.
supposed to do.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is Clémence. So my husband's French, so we picked a name that we thought would be easy in French and English, and it turns out it's not easy in English.
How do you spell it?
It's spelled Clemence, like clemency.
Clement.
And
Clemence?
So it's really,
Clemence?
Yeah, so it comes out, in English it ends up being Clemence, or we call her Clay. Actually, I call her the Clay Monster, because most of the
But you pronounce it Clemence?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Clemence.
you got it.
That's
Are
beautiful.
you French?
I took French in college.
I can tell.
Yeah. I had a good, Mr. Bruno was my teacher. He was very good.
Mr. Bruno.
Yeah, Mr. Bruno.
What's new? Man, I'm so
What's
happy to
new?
talk
Oh,
to
well,
you.
let's see. What's new? Since you've been on last, this show is syndicated across the United States, including Hawaii.
Really?
We're coast to coast, so there are thousands of people listening to you right now. You need to behave.
Oh, my goodness. You shouldn't have told me that.
I know. It gets people anxious. No, it's all good. So you're back with Nordic Naturals. You have your
Yeah,
new...
I've been there.
Oh, wonderful.
I just had a little break, and then I was doing some work with the professional division. We have a professional division that sells, exclusively to doctors.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working with them for a while, but now I'm just back in my old purview of talking to lovely people like you and
thank
doing
you.
training and education. I love education. I mean, this is so key, and this is what you do. I mean,
This is what I do for a living. I love it.
Here's something new. I love how you always integrate. I love how you always are integrating what's happening politically, what's happening in the greater scheme of things, because we can get really narrow in our little world of everything being natural and
I know.
this and that, and it's important to keep the context of what's going on. I love that you do that.
Well, thank you. I mean, after all, people, you have to be mindful. The people that listen and watch this show, they have their lives. You're right. They live in a context. The context is called life, society, and our health. It's situated within that overall context. and you have to try to be contemporary and dialed in, and you have to be of a Renaissance mind. You have to know about art, science, everything. You have to integrate. That's what makes this show so challenging to do, and to be open-minded, not to be ideological, because you have to try to set an example for people, so that when you're ideological and closed-minded, it's hard to change. And the name of the game for good health is what I've come to learn over these many years now, Eliza, is that you have to be able to change your behavior. You have to be able to change your mind. You have to be able to keep evolving, which is very hard to do. So that's what this show, in essence, is trying to do, help people do that. Thereby, they can take charge of their health. That's why we have guests on the show, such as yourself, these experts in different areas. I can know a lot about a lot of things, but I can't know a lot about everything.
Every single thing.
No.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So I rely on guests to help with the education. So let me ask you this. I was just thinking out loud, and my one, I said to Gary, I said, I wonder if people still eat lard. And he's showing a bucket. They sell a 5-gallon bucket, and it says lard on it. People are still eating lard. What people don't understand sometimes, Eliza, and I would like you to comment, whatever fat you feed the body, that's what the body will use to build the cell walls, that bilipid layer around every cell. When we come back, if you could talk about the importance of this and why a diet high in saturated fat from lard, butter, and other things is not a good idea, okay?
Okay.
And why fish oil is, as I said, and maybe you have a different point of view, but I think it is something that needs to be consumed every single day. That's my view. We'll see what you think. 877-897-8255. Eliza Leggatt is my guest. Wonderful to have her back on again. She's a wonderful person, very smart, dedicated, very passionate. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition. This is a no lard zone.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, Global Healing, Modern Wellness. BSN, Finish First. Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Whatever you feed your body, that's what it will use for its structure and function. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. You're the contractor, you're ordering the materials, and your body is the builder, right? It's going to build what it will construct with whatever materials you send to the site. And if your diet is constituted, notice my language now, excessive consumption of saturated fat, that's what it's going to use to build the bilipid layer, right, that surrounds every cell. Not a good idea. My guest is Eliza Leggatt. Eliza, welcome back. Explain why, expand on this point that I'm making about, you need to have these omega-3 fatty acids. Explain to the audience why that is.
Okay.
Relative to the bilipid layer.
I really wanted to talk about lard with you, but first let's talk about why we do need omega-3, EPA, and DHA. Just as you said, we're made of our cells. So in order for our cells to function, they have to be able to communicate. And a key reason that EPA and DHA are so important is that they make our cell membranes, just as you said, we have a double layer of fat around each and every cell in our body. Now, different cells do different functions, and certain cells need a different makeup of certain fats. One of the key reasons that EPA and DHA are so critical, especially for areas in our body that need speed, that use speed, like our brain moves very quickly, our eye cells move very quickly. They need that ability to be very, very fluid and flexible. So if you think about fish oil, for example, when you pour it, if you put it in your fridge, if you put it even in your freezer, it can still be fluid and flexible. It's not going to chunk up like your butter or your coconut oil. The reason for that fluidity is because of the composition of these cells, of these molecules that then convey that same composition to our cells. So if you were to take a stick of butter, put it in the freezer, what happens? It's rock hard. Not so with fish oil. And it's important for the fish because as they're going to the depths of the Arctic Ocean, they need to be fluid and flexible too.
Because it's cold down there.
The same thing is important for our eye cells, our brain cells, our heart cells, and indeed every cell of our body.
Mm-hmm. And the body, in its incredible, miraculous capacity, if you're shipping nothing but saturated fat to the work site, if you will, i.e. the cell, that's what it's going to use in its construction of that bilipid layer. It'll use whatever you send, right?
We need a total revolution in our thinking on this topic, just like you were talking about before when you were saying we have to embrace change. One of the main areas that people get very hung up about is thinking of fat as still as bad. And there's been a revolution. It's starting to happen, and you see it more and more trendy is that, people are excited about their coconut oil, and that's great. One of the key things to understand here is that it's not just that the fat comes in and then it just sits there and it's static and not doing anything. In the case of EPA and DHA, the fats that we eat and make up our cells with have incredible consequences. And these consequences are the very crux of our immune response. So in the case of omega-3, what these fats can do is eventually send signals that behave like hormones. And these signals can promote a better resolution of inflammation. They can promote the ability for our blood to stay very, very thin as opposed to becoming prone to clotting. So these are important signals to have.
Mm-hmm.
The key is you cannot discuss omega-3 without also discussing omega-6. You know I'm going to talk about this, Dr. Garko.
It's okay.
You know I cannot talk about fish oil and not talk about omega-6.
Okay, go ahead. It's all right.
Okay. Because, first of all, let's just remember what these are. There's only 2 fats that we can't make in our own body. We have to eat them. That's why they're called essential fats. So these are really important just to get in our diet. There's a family called omega-3, which we know mostly from fish, but really it's actually coming from every green leafy vegetable. So that's more the plant form, which is ALA that you see in flax. And then fish and certain animals convert that to a longer form, which is EPA and DHA.
Right.
So science lesson over. That's that. Omega-6 fats are the predominant fat in our diet, not saturated fat. And omega-6 fats do the exact opposite in many cases of what omega-3s do. If omega-3s work to resolve inflammation, omega-6s work to promote it.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is something that you have to walk a fine line. There has to be a balance.
And most experts say that ratio between omega-3 to omega-6 should be 1-to-1, but many experts now saying that the ratio is now 20-to-1, 22-to-1, omega-6 to omega-3, in large measure from the introduction of vegetable oils and whatnot into the diet. Are you of that school of thought?
I don't feel that there's really any other opinion you can take. If your listeners spend some time and Google a researcher whose name is Dr. Hibbeln, Joseph Hibbeln, Hibbeln, he says that we're living in the greatest uncontrolled scientific experiment of all time. Basically, what happens when you completely change the composition of our diet and consequently body to a fat which has known tendencies to promote inflammation. And I'm not just talking about inflammation of like you stub your toe and it hurts a lot and that, that's frustrating. But inflammation on a cellular level, you know this, Dr. Garko. I mean, this is, when you're talking about mental health, this is absolutely known that there's a component of inflammation to mental issues as well.
Absolutely.
Emotional instabilities.
Absolutely.
So,
in fact, that's going to come up in my second hour with my guest in the second hour, most likely. And you're absolutely right. And you can have inflammation at a local site, for example, where there's an injury or an infection. But you can also live and eat in a certain way that will promote this silent systemic inflammation that accelerates aging, creates a pathogenic terrain in the body, and hence promotes disease. I've often said, a million times, I'll say it one more time. If you can manage the inflammation, you then are managing your health, wellness, and well-being far better. Be right back.
Exclusively from Natural Factors.
I'm Dr. Michael Murray. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to talk with you about PGX, a truly revolutionary natural product that works perfectly to help get at the core issues that make weight loss so difficult. PGX is a clinically proven way to help people to achieve their ideal body weight that is safe and natural. PGX leads to a dramatic reduction in the glycemic index of any food or meal. It also ultimately causes the release of compounds that achieve 2 important goals in weight loss. 1, telling your brain that you're satisfied so you eat less, and 2, improving the action of the hormone insulin. If you've ever tried to lose weight and failed, it's not your fault. You just need the tremendous support that PGX can provide. For more information on making your weight loss dream a near effortless reality, please go to pgx.com.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At Country Life Vitamins, we've been helping people live happy, healthy lives since 1971, and we believe integrity should always be our #1 ingredient. We are committed to this belief because you deserve high-quality nutrition, specifically crafted with the highest standards to support your health. Country Life's manufacturing facility is an NSF GMP-registered facility, as well as USDA certified organic, so you can feel good about the products you're taking. Country Life Vitamins is also the first supplement company in the United States to have a complete line of products certified gluten-free. That's over 500 products. Country Life Vitamins' pledge of integrity is based on 5 standards: authenticity, cleanliness, freshness, consistency, and accuracy. Ask for Country Life's top-selling products, such as Coenzyme B Advanced for increased energy or Flex-Able for joint health. Country Life Vitamins' commitment to ensure all of our products are pure, wholesome, gluten-free supplements full of natural goodness provides peace of mind with the knowledge you are using a brand you can trust. Battling sinus, bronchial disorders, allergies, and other seasonal irritants can be a constant struggle, making this the season when you need Oreganol P73 the most, nature's most powerful natural remedy. Get the blast of wild nature you need with the only wild Mediterranean oregano extract, Oreganol P73 from North American Herb & Spice. After being tested, both the USDA and the FDA agree Oreganol P73 is powerful. North American Herb & Spice knows it's powerful as well and knows P73 is just what you need. When you take P73, you'll experience its cleansing power. You'll smell the fresh mountain-grown aroma and feel its effectiveness. The Greeks used wild oregano for their health, not just spice, and called it Oroganos, the delight of the mountain. Oreganol P73 is 100% wild, hand-picked Mediterranean oregano. Do not accept cheap imitations made from farm-raised or non-oregano species. Use Oreganol P73 and stay healthy all year long. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all-natural ingredients, Solace is non-addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit takesolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace for a good night's rest naturally.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Alga Life, Algae for Life, CV Sciences, From Seed to Shelf, New Chapter, The Benefit of Nature's Wisdom, Yerba Prima, Pioneers in Internal Cleansing, Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Eliza Leggatt's my guest educator for Nordic Naturals. Welcome back, Eliza. So, how much fish oil, EPA, DHA, do you think the average human being needs daily to keep that bilipid layer, that cell membrane that surrounds every cell in the body, working structurally and functionally in a way that nature designed it to be? How much do you think?
Well, that's a
hard question.
That is really needs to be individualized.
Mm-hmm.
There's an amount for me that is appropriate because I've tested my blood and I've ensured that my levels are you don't need to overdo something.
Would you do about 3 grams a day?
For most people, that's a good number to start with.
3 grams, which would be...
The key is that you need to consume more omega-3 than omega-6. That's the key. It's the ratio.
Right. And if you're suffering from some sort of inflammation-related disorder or disease, you may need more, depending in your weight, your height, and so on. You have a person that's 225 pounds and a person 125 pounds. You got to take that into account as well, the health of the person, the age of the person. But it seems
the reason that a lot of times people get frustrated from taking fish oil and they don't see these benefits that we're talking about is because they never took enough.
They never took enough.
That's the key. I mean, we need to always remember that omega-3 and omega-6 compete with one another. So if you're taking a small amount of omega-3, but you're also eating, your safflower oil, your sunflower oil, your soybean oil in every food, which most of us are if we're eating anything that comes out of a package, the likelihood is you're never even going to get the chance to have these accumulate in your cell membranes, which is where you want them to be.
Right. So, Nordic Naturals has a large constellation of dietary fish oil supplements. The one that I'm taking currently is I always do Ultimate Omega for sure, but lately I've been trying the Ultimate Omega with curcumin.
How do you like that?
I like it a lot because I was doing that anyway, but independently. I was taking fish oil, then I was taking curcumin at the same time. I've been doing that for the last couple of years. Now you have it in one product. You have both together. I still take curcumin on the side as well because I need a lot of it. And that's a wonderful combination. Both help to manage inflammation and get the body a nice homeostatic terrain inside. That's a wonderful idea.
I love that. And anything that is combined like that sometimes you'll see combinations of products that don't complement one another. And in this case, these really complement one another. And like you said, if you're working on addressing inflammation in a serious way, curcumin or curcumin, no one ever says it the right way, or there is no right way. I was just told recently. So I always go back and forth. But, this is something that absolutely will, it's going to tackle that inflammation head on. And this is a highly, highly absorbable form that we have here. So.
Yeah, and I must say to people that the reason why, for example, I eat a Mediterranean diet is because it's lower in meat consumption. You still can eat fish, but there's not a lot of red meat, not a lot of other kinds of meat. It's more plant-based, herbs, spices, olive oil, omega-3s. There are some omega-6s, but on the whole, it's a diet that tends toward a more it tends to lean toward creating a more natural balance of these fats. That's why I eat that particular diet and have my whole life since I was a child. I guess, when you made the point earlier, they're called essential because it's essential that you get them from your day-to-day nutrition. The body does not make these fats. And so you got to get it from, and if you're eating a diet that's high in processed foods, high in meat, saturated fats generally, notice I said high, you're gonna be consuming vegetable oils. You're gonna have more omega-6 than 3s if I had to hazard a guess. So Which one do you like to take? Which product?
I'm a really big fan of anything that is combining EPA with GLA. I really, that's maybe the one omega-6 that I, it doesn't necessarily fall into this category of being predominantly pro-inflammatory. And GLA is an omega-6 that can really function similarly to EPA, and it's similar mechanisms of its the consequences of what it does downstream, and it's really great for your skin. And I want to have nice skin.
I understand. As it turns out, linoleic acid, LA, should not be confused with alpha linolenic acid, ALA, which is an omega-3 fatty acid.
Mortal enemies.
Mortal enemies. Linolenic acid is converted into GLA, gamma linolenic acid, in the body. So I don't go out of my way to take GLA. Never have, but I'm not saying you shouldn't. A person shouldn't. That's just me. But the Ultimate Omega from Nordic Naturals. You also have a fish oil derived from the sea, but relative to plants, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a vegetarian option. So typically, like I said earlier, the ALA that you see in flax, which is in every any leafy green vegetable, and it's the most abundant fat on the planet. So that kind of tells you we should be eating it.
Right.
So if you're eating a lot of greens, then you're going to be getting omega-3s. They're just not converted to EPA and DHA. So fish are really well adapted to doing that. So when you eat the fish, you get the converted one. But there's a certain algae called Schizochetrium, which is able to convert. It's already the longer chain, and it is including EPA as well, which is uncommon to find EPA in an algae. Usually it's just the DHA.
I got it.
So if you are unwilling or unable to eat animals, then this is an option.
That's an option.
Yeah.
And we're almost out of time, and I just want to remind everybody, Nordic Naturals is sold in fine health stores throughout the United States and in other countries, and those stores that are trying to be fine. They're trying to get there. They're trying.
Such a pleasure, Dr. D. Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on the new member to your family. It's great to have you back on the air. We're going to look for you again. We'll continue this conversation. It's essential to get these omega-3 fatty acids into your body every day, and it's essential that you do it with using Nordic Naturals. Why? Because go to their website. Check out the video on how they make their product. You'll be impressed. We'll be back. Second hour. Got a lot more to go.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Wonderful that you could stop by. Really appreciate it. I'm glad to be here with you as well. Dr. Hector Lopez is my guest today. That's a great, that first name, Hector, you know, in Greek mythology and Greek history, Hector, what a great name. I love that name, Hector. Yeah, good name. He lives up to it, you'll see. Pretty smart guy. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, just in case you're driving along and you're fumbling with the dial on the radio. So what's this program about? Well, what's this program about? Well, it's in a word, it's about maybe somehow we can help you do a little better with your health, wellness, and well-being. Sooner or later, in some form or fashion, we'll hit on something that will serve you well. I promise you that. Why? Because there are no narrow lanes on this show. It's open highway, wide open. It's like the Autobahn, wide open. Full throttle, we're going to go down whatever road we can go down that will help people on an individual basis, as a group, as a society, as a culture, whatever. And it's evidence-based. If you're new to the show, you'll hear me cite and refer to study after study. Why would I do that? Because I'm trying to give you confidence in what we're saying on the show, what's being asserted, what's being claimed, either by me or by a guest. My guest that's coming on here in a moment, in a little bit, Dr. Lopez, he's of the same mind. You're going to hear him refer to one study to another. But also, you'll hear on this show, you'll hear me talk about another data set, what's sometimes called traditional use data. That's the data from cultures from around the world over thousands of years. Data that weren't collected from clinical trials or epidemiological studies of one sort or another, but what people sort of figured out. And it's absolutely remarkable how people figured out what to eat, what would serve them better, what therapies to engage in, what herbs, what spices, whatever. It's remarkable. It's intriguing. I remember one time on the show, I had a medical anthropologist on the show. I enjoyed her as a guest so much. You know, she would travel. She was a medical anthropologist. She went to places throughout the world, Middle East, went to Mongolia. I remember having a conversation with her about Mongolia and what they ate in Mongolia and why. I mean, what a cool job, right? A medical anthropologist. So I try to keep, I'm human. I have my biases. I admit that. You can't escape from them. But I try to keep an open mind so that we can explore the terrain. Sometimes there are things being said or things I'll learn about, read about, or being said on the show that I question. And then I'll go and find out, I'll research it some more, and I'll try to figure out, well, does this work for me? Does this make sense? Does it make theoretical sense? Does it make practical sense? Is it supported by any data, any studies of any sort? Right? So that's what we're trying. We're trying to educate in a way that really makes a difference for people if you're new to the show. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. This morning, out of Taylor and Francis, is a study trending. The headline on it was, and this will pertain to what my guest wants to talk about today, Dr. Lopez. More than 50% of Americans now have at least one chronic health condition, mental disorder, or substance use issue. It was published in a journal called Psychology, Health, and Medicine, and it highlights, underscores, emphasizes, puts the spotlight on how complex the medical needs of individuals really is. It's not just going to a doctor. If that were the case, it would be easy. It turns out that in this study, they found that overall, about 18% of adults in the study had a mental illness in the past year. About 9% reported substance abuse or dependence during the same time. And nearly 40% had one or more chronic medical conditions during their lifetimes, and 15% were living in poverty. As we have advanced medical science, as we have improved sanitation methods, dealt better with infectious diseases and so on, we've been able to keep people alive longer. In 1900, the average life expectancy was about, 45 or 47 years of age. That's it. That was in 1900. That wasn't all that long ago. Now it's 78 in our country. We're about 50th, by the way, on the CIA World Fact Book. There are other countries that people live on average longer. But we are keeping people longer and alive longer, but the question is, what is the quality of their health and their life? And what we're finding is that oftentimes we get them deep into the lifespan, but they have not just heart disease, they have type 2 diabetes. They may have some mental health issue as well. It's not uncommon for people to have 3 comorbidities at once. And you have then end up with patients taking medications, 7, 8, 9, 10 medications at one time. So we're beset with this huge paradox. We do well now, we're doing better at keeping people alive longer, but I don't know how well we're doing in keeping people healthier. So we're creating our own kind of medical monster. And then politics enters into the arena, and that's like, I don't know what. And then things get crazy, and then meantime, you have some person who's struggling, trying to get better and trying to figure out what to do and doesn't know which way to turn. So I try to talk about these things on the show to put some light on them so that we understand what's going on in our world and our society. And still today, in the 21st century, there are people that believe that mental illness is really not an illness because it's not physical. My land, you think about the stress in this society that we live in, this modern society, the anxiety, the depression, and other mental disorders and diseases, and the pain and the suffering and the deterioration of quality of life is just as real with mental challenges and health challenges and illness as it is with any physical illness. And sometimes they go together. The mind and body, as I mentioned earlier, are inextricably linked. You have to keep, and then there's that spiritual dimension, by the way, and I don't mean to get too touchy-feely about that, but I'm a believer in that dimension. I am a believer in prayer. I'm a believer in reaching to a higher order. And there are 2 things that tell me that there's a higher order. One is a single human cell, and the other is the cosmos. Now, I'll leave it to the philosophers to wax and wane as to why, how, and whatnot. I don't try to get into that too much on the show. I'm self-disclosing something about my approach. But I tell you, I do not underestimate that spiritual part of health either. So we're going to focus a little bit on mental health today with Dr. Lopez. You know, I thought as I sit here and talk to you, it would be interesting to have somebody of religious orientation who also practices medicine and to hear how they integrate that. I've never had that on the show. That would be intriguing. That would be intriguing. Yeah. I'm so tempted to tell you some other things. I don't want to do that because that will take us too far astray. We'll be back.
If you've ever had digestive issues slow you down, it's time to live digestively with the #1 high-potency probiotic, Ultimate Flora. Because with 50 billion live cultures inside you, life feels a little lighter, a little livelier, a little more you. No matter where life takes you, live digestively with Ultimate Flora probiotics from Renew Life. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. #1 probiotic brand with 15 billion or more cultures based on annual sales. How can a sweet little fruit gummy help you live digestively? Ultimate Flora Probiotic Gummies put the ultimate natural digestive support to work inside you to help you feel a little lighter, a little more you. And if raspberry lemonade's a little more you, feel bubbly in a good way with Ultimate Flora Probiotic Fizzy Drink Mix. Ultimate Flora Probiotic Gummies and Fizzy Drink Mix. 2 great ways to live digestively, deliciously. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
As a family-owned company since 1968, Now Foods has spent the last 46 years building a legacy in the natural health industry as a trusted leader. Now provides a comprehensive approach to wellness by offering more than 1,400 high-quality health foods, supplements, sports nutrition, and personal care products at an affordable price. Now believes that natural is better. They don't use artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners, and they offer many vegetarian, organic, and gluten-free products. Their foods are all non-GMO. Since their beginning, Now has grown to become an award-winning leader in the natural health industry. But one thing has never changed: their commitment to providing the highest quality products at the best value to empower people to lead healthier lives. High quality doesn't have to mean high price. From essential oils to amino acids, multivitamins to natural sweeteners, Now has you covered. To find a store near you that carries Now products, or for more information, visit nowfoods.com. That's nowfoods.com.
Natural Factors presents.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Murray. How would you like to feel more calm, centered, and alert with greater mental focus and clarity? Pharma-GABA, a special natural form of the major brain chemical GABA, can help. Our brain can naturally produce GABA, but sometimes we don't produce enough, so taking it as a supplement can give your brain a GABA boost. Pharma-GABA is a clinically proven form that is considerably more effective than other forms. Pharma-GABA produces favorable changes in brainwave patterns as well as a dramatic reduction in markers of stress, including salivary cortisol levels. Pharma-GABA is fast-acting with feelings of calmness and mental focus experienced within 5 minutes of taking Pharma-GABA. So, if you want to feel calmer with greater mental clarity and focus and need a fast-acting help to cope with a stressful day, give Pharma-GABA a try. I think you'll be glad you did.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Urban Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Dr. Hector Lopez is my guest. Dr. Lopez is on the medical board for CV Sciences, and Dr. Lopez is the real deal when it comes to research, doing research. That's his world. And you like to have guests on the show that do that for a living because they can give you insight that perhaps others cannot. But he's more than that, you'll see. Dr. Lopez, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. It's great to have you on.
Hey, how are you, Mike? How's it going?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you for asking.
Excellent. Great to be on again. Thanks for having me on.
It's our pleasure.
It's always fun.
Well, good. That's what it should be. I'll see what I can do to sabotage that. No, I'm kidding. I love having you on, Hector. You're a serious scientist. You're a serious doctor, and but you have empathy. So that's important.
Thank
you. You heard me report on that Taylor and Francis study on in Psychology, Health, and Medicine published about more than 50% of Americans suffering from at least one chronic health condition, mental disorder, or substance use issue. You have any reaction to my reporting on that?
I think no. I mean, I think it's important to recognize that this is an issue that's highly prevalent in our society. I mean, it's something on the order of. I've read data that it's something on the order of 30 to 40% of individuals that suffer from even, for example, addiction to substances and to drugs. They also meet criteria for depression and anxiety. And I think it's no coincidence, right? Because these things all share, when you kind of break it down to the neurophysiologic and neurobiologic phenomenon and what's happening in the brain and in the nervous system, they all share some common threads. So, I think it's a real issue.
Do you think, Dr. Lopez? I don't mean to step on you, but I'm anxious to get your reaction to this. Do you think in the 21st century that there is a significant proportion of even professionals or people in the general population that think that mental issues are not really health issues?
Yeah, I think that's a real probing question, and it's no surprise coming from you. That's a good question. I think it's human nature to try to compartmentalize what is a physical, kind of tangible health malady or health issue, something that's that you typically go see your doctor for, and they try to compartmentalize that and separate it from mental health challenges. So
there seems to be a stigma.
That happens, yeah.
There seems to be a stigma attached to mental health issues. It's okay for somebody to suffer from cancer, but it's not okay if they suffer from PTSD because they were in Iraq and now they're, having some difficulty.
Right. It's almost, it's a sign of, it's almost like it goes to the core of someone's character or, excuse me, like they're lacking some sort of an intrinsic strength that they otherwise should have. Like they should be able to help themselves. They should know better. This isn't cancer. This is anxiety. This is depression. This is post-traumatic stress disorder. And it's obviously an inappropriate mindset. It's a wrong way to approach it, but that tends to happen, unfortunately.
I'm reminded of the scene in Patton, and I thought Patton was a wonderful general, brilliant. He was a brilliant tactician and courageous general. And I'm reminded of the scene where he slaps the soldier sitting in the tent because he was suffering from looked like what we now call PTSD, and he slapped the slapping incident, which has been documented and reported, and at the time was just and he had to apologize to the Third Army or whatever it was, public apology. I'm reminded of that scene. And now, fast forward to the 21st century, and all the young men and women that we've sent into combat in Iraq, Afghanistan, Middle East, coming back, not with physical wounds, but with psychological wounds. Some of my friends work at the Veterans Hospital, and they tell me that their suffering is just as real as anybody else. I think we're doing a little better, but still I think we stigmatize people with mental issues that we just somehow, that I don't know. I'm not convinced.
It's like a sign of weakness that I think most people feel you should be able to overcome, right? Without help. Listen, I mean, obviously there's huge flaws in thinking that way, but listen, you're right. I think it is getting better. So let's look on the other side, right?
I mean, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic. Anxiety, high arousal, depression. These are not uncommon features of modern life, are they?
No, I mean, it's almost like we're living in an environment that fosters that. I mean, I think I see it also more often in our young people. I mean, have you noticed that as well? I mean, it's like
I saw it in my students. I saw it in my students over the year. I saw it over the course of my career. I saw more and more of it, Dr. Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
They would be anxious about things, and you try to talk to them, and you try to bring them back to a level place and put things in perspective. Very difficult. Everything's distorted. They feel that they have to overachieve. They're expected to make A's. They're almost neurotic about it. It's such an unhealthy way to learn,
Right. Yeah, no, it's a real issue, and it's systemic, and it's something we need to be better at, I think, as a society, to be more conscious, to try to protect our children and our kids and our young people from all these influences that are constantly bombarding them. Body image.
Sure, got you. As it turns out, cannabis sativa has been used throughout the centuries for the things we're talking about.
Are you suffering from those awful allergies? Hay fever, sneezing, watery eyes.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, Global Healing, Modern Wellness. BSN, Finish First. Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils. Jarro Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Dr. Hector Lopez is my guest today. We're going to talk about, he sent me a wonderful article by Zelbnik and Cheer, two researchers, Natalie and Joseph, respectively. And it deals with disorders of motivation. And that's an interesting way to frame this because, as it turns out, in this study, what they review are preclinical and clinical studies or data that outline, they say in the article, the therapeutic efficacy of CBD, cannabidiol, for the treatment of motivational disorders, they say, such as drug addiction, anxiety, and depression. And as I just reported, not uncommon features of the general population. Dr. Lopez, welcome back. This is thanks for, first of all, for sending along that article. By the way, very nice piece.
Oh, my pleasure. Actually, I need to credit Stuart Tomk for that from CV Sciences. He
yes,
sent the article. Yep.
Good enough.
It was a good one. It's a good one.
So, what's your how do we make this relevant to the listener and the viewer of the show in terms of how CBD, cannabidiol, from hemp-derived, for motivational issues, depression, anxiety, too high arousal, over-arousal, and the other things that I was alluding to?
Yeah, well, I think it's important to maybe position it from the standpoint of all those issues that you mentioned. You know, these conditions of, as it's known in the behavioral psychology or psychiatry world, these disorders of motivational behavior that affect drug addiction, anxiety, depression, etc. I think it's important to recognize that they all share a common neurophysiologic basis, meaning you have predictable changes that are occurring in certain areas of the brain and having to do with certain neurotransmitters, for example, dopamine being one, serotonin being another, which I'm sure your listeners have probably heard a lot of over the years. And what's interesting is that those areas are also controlled by this grand master regulatory system known as the endocannabinoid system, right? That we've also talked about at length, you and I, on the show. So hemp-derived CBD has the ability to sort of disrupt some of those neural pathways that are dysregulated, meaning certain areas that are overstimulated and overactivated by dopamine. That kind of causes these reward and behavior, these reward-seeking behaviors. That can be interrupted by CBD based on its ability to activate other neurotransmitters like the 5-HT1 receptor, which is a serotonin receptor, and by elevating the endocannabinoid tone. So basically, by bringing the endocannabinoid system back into balance, then you're able to also bring some of these neurophysiologic or pathways that are altered in the brain in many of these conditions. You're able to bring them back into balance.
Are there any studies that you know going on right now with participants or subjects in the study who suffer from alcoholism, drug abuse, and they're in some sort of trial or observational study, whatever, that they're being treated with CBD?
Yes, there actually have been already a few studies that have been actually performed and even published. So there's one study, for example, in I think it's pretty fascinating, in opioid dependence. So morphine, all these obviously narcotic opioid medications. These drugs obviously have high abuse potential and high withdrawal potential as well in both humans and animals. CBD has been shown to reduce the drug-seeking behavior and reduce the withdrawal effects and limit cravings. There's studies that were published in 2013 by Morgan et al. Another study that looked at attenuating the withdrawal effects by Chesser and Jackson as way back as early as 1985. In 2015, just recently, Herd published something on cravings, on limiting cravings associated with opioid withdrawal.
And the opioid addiction is epidemic right now, isn't it?
It is huge problem. It's an enormous problem. As a matter of fact, the Surgeon General has sent a letter to every licensed physician in the country talking about this issue of opioid overprescription, and we have a real issue. It's the first time that I'm aware that the Surgeon General has ever sent a bulletin or a letter to every practicing physician in the country. It's a real issue.
877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. You're just listening to Dr. Hector Lopez, and we're talking about the application of CBD, cannabidiol, as derived from hemp. Take note of the language. Derived from hemp in its application and safety and efficacy and overall application in trying to treat what's referred to in the psychological, psychobiological, psychobehavioral world of as motivational disorders, anxiety, depression, substance abuse. This would seem to be a useful pathway for researchers, medical researchers, and clinical practitioners to pursue in treatment of patients suffering from anxiety, depression, and these substance abuse and other motivational disorders. I wonder if they're vigorously going down that pathway, though.
It's happening. We're starting to make inroads. But you're right. It would make a fantastic weapon or tool in a physician's arsenal, in a healthcare practitioner's arsenal that works with this. One of the things I'm excited about is its ability to modulate nicotine reward seeking. So basically, smokers trying to quit. There's actually some really good data by Morgan that was published in, I believe it was 2013 or 2012, that actually looked at, in humans, CBD reduced cigarette smoking significantly compared to placebo and smokers trying to quit. And it was a small pilot study, but that's really promising. That's fascinating.
Have they done any work with alcoholism?
You know, I don't think so, actually. I know there's been, they've looked at cocaine and psychostimulants, like amphetamines.
Right. We'll come back. We'll have the LTN Health Question of the Day, $25 gift card, right answer.
Energy, energy, and more energy. Everyone needs it. But did you know you can get the energy you need quick through the powers of wild forest extracts? Wild chaga and birch bark were a secret source of energy and power for Russian athletes years ago, making them unbeatable. Now you too can experience real energy and power like you've never dreamed possible. Wild chaga is the world's top source of SOD, superoxide dismutase, that critical enzyme that blocks the aging process and keeps your cells healthy. Wild birch extract is the world's top source of betulin, a natural sterol needed by every cell of the body. And healthy cells mean a healthy you, and a more powerful one too. Chaga birch bark is also good for your heart, healthy cholesterol, and even helps build healthy arteries. No wonder it's known as the king of all herbs. So take your Chaga Charge tea with wild birch bark every day and Chaga Max capsules from North American Herb and Spice and get that maximum energy you need. Also available in liquid as Chago Power Drops. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all-natural ingredients, Solace is non-addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit takesolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace for a good night's rest naturally.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
At Country Life Vitamins, we've been helping people live happy, healthy lives since 1971, and we believe integrity should always be our #1 ingredient. We are committed to this belief because you deserve high-quality nutrition, specifically crafted with the highest standards to support your health. Country Life's manufacturing facility is an NSF GMP-registered facility, as well as USDA-certified organic, so you can feel good about the products you're taking. Country Life Vitamins is also the first supplement company in the United States to have a complete line of products certified gluten-free. That's over 500 products. Country Life Vitamins' pledge of integrity is based on 5 standards: authenticity, cleanliness, freshness, consistency, and accuracy. Ask for Country Life's top-selling products, such as Coenzyme B Advanced for increased energy or Flex Able for joint health. Country Life Vitamins' commitment to ensure all of our products are pure, wholesome, gluten-free supplements full of natural goodness provides peace of mind with the knowledge you are using a brand you can trust.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymatica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymatica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Alga Life, Algae for Life, CV Sciences, From Seed to Shelf, New Chapter, The Benefit of Nature's Wisdom, Yerba Prima, Pioneers in Internal Cleansing, Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Here's the LTN health question of the day. We do this every day around this time. We enjoy giving that money away every day. Those gift cards, that gift card. Love it. It's a nice reward. Here's the question. I was talking about this new study. It was published in Psychology, Health, and Medicine. and they reported that a certain percentage of Americans now have at least one chronic health condition, mental disorder, or substance use issue. Here's the question. What percent of Americans have at least one chronic health condition, mental disorder, or substance abuse issue? 20, 25%, 50%, or 75%? I gave the answer several times. Is it 25%, 50%, or 75%? 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. I'm talking with Dr. Hector Lopez, and we're talking about the application, clinical application, if you will, theoretical and clinical application of CBD to address motivational disorders such as anxiety, depression, and substance abuse issues. And Dr. Lopez, as you can see, he didn't know what I was going to ask him at all, and he was able to cite study after study to support the assertions or claims that he was making. And there's an opioid epidemic in our country right now. Good people, all kinds of people, just lost in this world of opioid addiction, and how they got there. You know, sometimes they were just suffering from pain and they got addicted to the pain medication. And we don't want to stigmatize people. You know, these aren't criminals, and these are sometimes just housewives, everyday good people trying to get along. Welcome back, Dr. Lopez.
All right, I'm back.
So, do you take CBD?
I do.
And you're not neurotic, anxiety-ridden, depressed, or suffer from substance abuse, right?
No, not at all. As far as I know.
You sound pretty clear-headed to me. So why do you take it?
Well, I take it because I'd like to do things to go beyond just, beyond just treating problems or waiting for problems to arise. Obviously, I'm into wellness, and I'm into optimizing performance and performance in day-to-day life. And for me, hemp-derived CBD helps with sleep support, with healthy sleep. It helps to optimize a kind of a healthy stress response. So we're all going to be faced by, chronic stress, chronic situations where, we're multitasking all the time.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is there was even a study on CBD in healthy folks, in healthy people. They didn't have anxiety disorders that were induced to be stressed by public speaking simulation. Have you heard of that study?
No, I haven't, but given that my PhD's in communication, I've listened to thousands of speeches. I've watched more anxiety-ridden speeches than I would want to tell you about. Communication anxiety, CA. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
That's intriguing.
So I'll send you that study. It was actually published in 2011, and so they took there's way back in 2004 there was one. There've been a couple published, but so they induced anxiety with this public speaking simulation, and actually CBD was able to help mitigate and reverse that anxiety. And then when they did neuroimaging, when they've done some neuroimaging studies looking at what areas of the brain are lighting up,
yep,
CBD actually decreases the activation of those brain regions that we know are associated with anxiety, fear, emotional processing, things like the amygdala, et cetera. So, listen, it's a fascinating compound, and I think it can do a lot to keep healthy people healthy, and also it can do a lot for practitioners who need another tool to reach into their bag for their bag of tricks.
Gotcha. Let's go to Pam in Peoria. Nice alliteration. Pam, welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How's everything in Peoria these days?
It's fine, but it's starting to get just a little chill in there.
What, is it 32 degrees?
Not quite that low yet.
Not yet. But fall is, you're seeing the seasonal changes. I like all that. We really appreciate you listening to the show and calling in. So let's see if we can. Oh, you do? Well, thank you.
Yes, I do.
Thank you so much. What percent of Americans now have at least one chronic health condition, mental disorder, or substance use issue? 25, 50, or 75%?
Oh, I'm going to say 50, but I didn't pay attention to which.
Good guess.
Oh, good.
Congratulations. You won a $25 supplement gift card. Let me ask you, when you hear Dr. Lopez talk about cannabidiol derived from hemp, and just give me your authentic answer. There's no right or wrong answer. What crosses your mind? What's been on your mind as you've listened to him talk about this?
I enjoy listening to it, but I just wish that a workplace that and not that we get drug tested or anything here, that I could do such a thing in fear of, a lot of people would like to do such a thing, but I think they're in fear of losing their job if they had a drug testing or whatever.
Well, let's ask Dr. Lopez about that. That's an excellent point. Good. That's why I like to talk to listeners. What do you make of what Pam just said, Dr. Lopez?
Yeah, no, listen, it's a valid concern, but there's a major difference between CBD that's derived from hemp, and you've made it a point to sort of really emphasize that, hemp as opposed to marijuana. So even though they're both the same, they're derived from the same species of plant, the cultivar is different such that hemp has an exceedingly low percentage of THC, and it's derivatives of THC and THC that are tested, obviously, for substance use or
well, have they done any studies to verify that? In other words, take people who have been on CBD and test them for THC?
Yes, actually, and there's an article that CV Sciences sponsored on that, actually. It's an entire article on the concern that people have had. If I use hemp-derived CBD, am I going to test positive for a drug test for marijuana? And the answer is no, up until a certain point. If you took an exceedingly high dose of hemp,
right,
it has such a low percentage of THC that eventually you could test positive, but not at the doses that.
So there's a difference between a pothead and a hemp head.
That's right.
All right. Pam, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We rip one off once in a while. Every squirrel gets an acorn once in a while. No potheads around here, but we got a lot of hemp heads. Dr. Lopez, you're wonderful. We love you, man.
Oh, thanks for having me on, man. Love you back.
All right. CV Science is sold in fine health stores throughout the United States. I got the producers laughing. Your health is your wealth. We love you.